I'm going to offer some sun salutations and standing poses, a bit of a strong practice. You can warm up on your own before joining me. There are some videos you might choose to warm up, or just begin standing with me now. Grab a mat or any props you may need, and let's step up to the front of the mat, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. And your feet could be together or apart. If your feet are apart, make sure they're parallel, facing the same direction. We'll come into some nice slow, deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen, part way up. Step or hop your feet back, coming into a high push-up, lower down, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Please take the time you need for all your transitions. And each time we rest in down dog, another choice is to rest in child's pose. Or you could come to sitting, or on your forearms or knees. Any neutral shape. Each time we rest, come to a shape that allows you to come to ease. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, arms up. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back. Lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up to the ceiling, bend your knee to your chest, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Go as slow as you need to so you're feeling what you're doing. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. Circle your ankle a couple times. Big circles, both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. You can shift your weight forward as much as you're able. Maybe even floating up out of that back foot for a moment. Take the knee close to the chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, settle in, sink low. Inhales, look for space and length. Exhales, grounding and more ease. Last breath here. Tip forward, standing splits. Hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square. And with the upper body letting go like ragdoll. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Continue to fine-tune the pose. What are you noticing? What are you feeling here? Using everything you can feel and everything you know to come into your full expression. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor, make your way back to down dog. Each transition, you get to choose what you do, how you do it. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times, big circles, both directions. Take your leg a little higher, left knee towards left upper arm, maybe even floating out of that back foot for a second. Extend it up and back, take it across. Little twist. Reach it up and back, and bring your knee as close into the chest as you can. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Sink low. Is there anything to open? Is there anything to release? Last breath here. Tip forward, standing split. Square off the hips. Stretch that back leg straighter, longer, higher. But let it be like this, however this is. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. One more breath here. Release. Make your way back to down dog. And then settle into a good rest. More important than the shape, coming back to a quality of presence. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up. Inhale, chair. Sinking hips low. Reaching the chest high, shoulders drop low. Head reaches high. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, shift forward and find your balance. So doing what you know to do, continue to be curious, and then fine-tuning, given new information. At first, some of these poses are overwhelming, so you may not be able to take it all in. So we do them over and over. What are you able to feel right now? Last breath here. Step back, warrior one. One breath, release through a vinyasa or some movement transition. Left leg sweeps up. Next inhale. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three. So when the pose is complex or intense, it's harder to tune into subtlety. So we are training our awareness to open up, even in the face of intensity or overwhelm. How much can you take in? Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Release. Through a vinyasa or some movement transition. Back to a good rest. Settling back into ease. But keep the breath deep. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog. And step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back. Lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, one breath. Step back, warrior one. From here, open out, warrior two. And then take your time settling in. Flip the right palm, reverse warrior two. Both shoulders down. Straighten the front leg for triangle. Last breath. Let's release, hands to the floor, make your way back to down dog. Left leg sweeps up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, one breath. Step back, warrior one. Open out, warrior two. So when the pose is very familiar, it's easy to go on autopilot and for it to become stagnant. Can you continue to explore? For most of us now, the exploration is quite subtle. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior two. So mind wandering or boredom can be like a little flag, ready to go deeper, ready to go more subtle. Straighten the front leg, triangle. So the pose is never finished, it just continues to fine-tune. Maybe it's just energetically at this point. Any more expansion, any more letting go. Last breath here. Release. Hands to the floor, make your way back to down dog. 5 deep breaths. Any neutral shape. Letting go. Letting go of everything we've just done. everything we might do, feeling what's right here. Last breath. Coming through down dog, bend your knees, step or hop forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. This time from chair, let's come into a twist. Left elbow across to the outside of the right knee. Get it as far over as you can so you have something to leverage against. Do try and have the knees together, open up through that top shoulder, and lengthen your spine. From here, we're going to unweight the left foot and see if you can lift your left foot off the floor. You could have toes balancing, just barely touching the floor or off, breathing deeply. And then a big step back, coming into a high lunge twist, and feel free to adjust your footing, adjust your arm position. We're going to extend the arms straight, and that could be on the outside or inside of your front leg. Take a little rock front to back, and then let that top arm windmill pull you up and around into Warrior Two. Flip the right palm to face the ceiling, reverse Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg, triangle. This time in triangle, open the top arm behind your back and tuck it behind your back, half bound triangle. So it could be that the back of the hand is at the lower back, or you might reach around towards the right inner thigh. Make sure you're not locking or hyperextending that right leg. You might put a little bend in it. And if you'd like to work some core strength here, you could extend your bottom arm forward. Last breath here. Release, bend the front knee. Half bound, extended side angle. You can stay with the half bind or try a full bind. Right arm reaches under your leg for the left fingers behind you. You might grab your fingers or your wrist once you have hold. Try and come back up so your torso is back at a diagonal with the back leg. We're going to look to the front of the mat and step that back foot forward. Take as many steps as you need to. Once you're there, you might readjust your bind. Shift your weight into your left foot and rise up to standing, bird of paradise. If you don't have the bind, you can still approximate with the left arm behind the back and right hand under your leg. Whether you're bound or not, think about extending the right leg straight. And just thinking about it and going in that direction is enough. You don't need to get it any straighter than you can. Last breath here. Let's release. Hang in ragdoll. Let that go. Shake it out. Let's toe heel the feet back together. Bend the knees, come into chair. Same thing other side, starting with the twist. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Work the palms towards the center of the chest, breathing deeply. Unweight your right foot, maybe just barely touching toes to the floor or lifting them up. Take a step back. High lunge. Feel free to adjust your footing. Settle into the pose. And then extend arms straight. either on the outside or inside of that front leg. Take a little rock front to back. Let your top arm lift you up, windmill around, warrior two. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Open the top arm, tuck it behind your back, half bound triangle. If you did so on the other side, you might extend that bottom arm forward, feeling what's right here. Let's release, bend the left knee, elbow to thigh, half bound, extended side angle. If you took a full bind on the other side, try it again. There's a lot going on in this pose, a lot of intensity, complexity. How much can you feel? Let's look to that front foot, step up. Maybe readjust your bind, shift your weight out of the left foot, all the weight in the right foot, and then bend the right knee to come up to standing. With or without the bind, straighten the left leg as much as you can. And the pose might look like this. The pose might be quite bent over. As long as you're going in the directions you know to go in, you are doing it right. You shouldn't be any further along than you are. Let's release. Hang and ragdoll, shake that out. Let's take a little step back from the front of the mat. And we'll try crow with a hopping out of or into crow possibility. So if you like a crash pad when you're doing crow, feel free to put something in front of your head because it is a real possibility that you'll fall on your head. So sometimes we do this little rock front to back. So this is a good way to get into hopping out of crow. So we're going to do this same rock just with the elbows in contact with the upper arms, or the knees in contact with the upper arms. So we're going to take a little rock front to back. Now as you rock your weight forward, unweight the knees and just hop the feet back an inch, however much you're able. If you can do 1 inch, try 2. Shift your weight forward just before you fall on your head. Shoot the feet back. And if you can do it a little bit, then you have the steps to do it all the way. So maybe some of you are already hopping all the way back. If so, try a couple hopping forward. And you may fall right on your feet. You could try hopping back, hopping forward. When you've had enough hopping fun, let's take stand hand. One hand at a time. Slides under your feet so your toes are up to the wrists. You can push your toes into the pads of the hands. Let's release the hands out from under the feet. I'm going to bend the knees and come up to standing. So let's take a balance pose. Feel balance on 2 feet. Feel your feet rooted into the floor. We're going to bring the right leg up. something like pigeon pose, standing. So we're holding the ankle out in front of us, and just like pigeon, you could play around with the angle to get the best stretch for your right outer hip. See if you can stand nice and tall as you do this. Now, either stay here, or you could try half lotus, ankle at the top of the thigh, knee releasing down. This is not a good idea for your knee. Maybe tree pose would be better. If you are trying half lotus, you might try for a bind. Reach your right arm behind your back, and you could either hold your inner elbow or possibly grab that big toe. You can stay upright or fold, and folding could be just barely into the supporting knee, a block, or the floor. And just one more option, if you would prefer to try this as an arm balance. You could bring both hands to the floor, both knees to the upper arms, just like crow, shift your weight forward and lift that back foot off. If you were in your hands, come back to your foot. If you did fold, make your way back up, and let's release that side. And shake out, take any movement. Slow down your breath. So before doing the left side, just setting the intention that the goal isn't to get somewhere. The goal isn't to do the trick. The goal is, while you're exploring your full expression, being mindful of your body and what it can and can't do, how much can you feel what you're doing and open up your presence, feel your breath, relax your face, while you're trying something that may be quite challenging. So let's bring the left leg up. Slow down the breath. You might explore ankle higher or lower, a little to the right or left. Can you stand even taller? Now, either stay here, come to half lotus, or tree. Maybe a bind. And all of this is on offer. Doesn't mean you have to do it all. If you go to a buffet, you don't have to eat everything, right? So possibly grabbing the big toe. You can stay upright or fold. That could be just a slight fold or all the way. And if you tried it on the other side, you might try it again. The goal is slow breath, relaxed face, ease of being. Maybe knees come to the upper arms. Maybe shift weight forward. Maybe that back toe gets weightless and you lift it up. How's your presence? If you were in your hands, come back to your foot. If you did fold, make your way back up. Let's release. And shake that out, let that go. I'm going to close this practice for now, and you may want to continue with another video that has some more cool downs and final relaxation, or continue with your own practice, or take rest, or just head on with the rest of your day. Enjoy.